Hello again, guys. Welcome to part 4 of this lesson on writing. We have completed 3 points so far and on common writing mistakes that we make, and there are 2 more to go. Today, we'll be looking at the most common mistake of ignoring the silent letters while writing. Okay, let's find out what exactly do I mean by that. Oftentimes, we tend to make spelling mistakes when a letter in a particular word is silent. If you remember, in part 1 of this lesson, we had seen some of the silent letter words like government, knowledge, and receipt, where in government, N is silent, so the pronunciation is government. In knowledge, the K and D are silent, so the pronunciation is knowledge. And in receipt, the letter P is silent, so the pronunciation is receipt. Notice how I said the word pronunciation. Oftentimes I hear people say it as pronunciation, but in fact, it should be pronounced as pronunciation. So you could ask a question like, how is government pronounced? What is the pronunciation of government? I have made the same mistake many times. So I want you to be careful when you pronounce the word pronunciation. Here I've given the spelling here. So not only writing a silent letter word can be tricky, but also pronouncing it correctly can put you in a pickle. Here, put you in a pickle means that it can put you in a difficult position. It's an idiom, and you can use it when you are in a situation where you don't know what to do. For example, if your car stops on a highway road and there is nobody to help you, then you are in a pickle. And you might say to yourself at that time, I'm in a pickle. This is really bad. There is nobody to help me. Okay, you may have this question, why are we even using these letters in these words if they are silent? This has something to do with the English language going through a period of change in the 15th century when English became influenced by Latin and French, and pronunciations began to change while the spellings of the Old English were preserved. Okay. Let's come back to our lesson and look at some of the silent letter words in the English language that you must have come around in your daily life. Before we go ahead, I've given a note here that says the words underlined are silent when you say them out loud and should be included while writing. So do keep this in mind. You have to include these words that I've underlined when you're writing. And when you're saying them out loud, just keep them silent and don't pronounce them. Okay, let's not waste any more time and get on with the lesson. Okay, the first word, silent letter that we are going to see is the word B that is silent here in all of these words. I'm getting confused myself. Okay, we'll do it again. So the B is silent in all of these words. So let me read them out to you. Doubt, debt, climb, comb, thumb, and tomb. So when you're writing these words, be sure to include the B. But when you're saying them out loud, make sure that you keep them silent or don't pronounce them. So it is not doubt, it is doubt. It's not debt, it is debt. Debt is when you don't have money in your bank account and you're in debt because you owe someone money. So it's not climb, it is climb. And similarly, it is comb, thumb, tomb. See how I say the word tomb? even though the spelling is T-O-M-B. We are supposed to say that way. I don't know the reason either, and it's pronounced that way everywhere. So it's supposed to be tomb, not tomb. It's tomb. Next, we move on to the words where the letter D is silent. Let me read it out to you guys. Wednesday, handkerchief, sandwich, handsome, bridge. So I've seen a lot of people say Wednesday, but that's not the way it's supposed to be said. It's Wednesday. Just remember to leave out the D. And it's not handkerchief, but it's handkerchief. Similarly, the other words, sandwich, handsome, bridge. But do remember to include the D when you're writing them. Okay? Let's move on to the words where E is silent. Giraffe, vegetable, breathe. So in the first word, you can either pronounce it as giraffe or giraffe. It's not giraffe. Okay? It should be giraffe. Usually the Americans say it as giraffe, and the British people say it as giraffe. So suit yourselves whatever way you like it. You can pronounce it that way. And it's not vegetable, it's vegetable. Okay, but don't leave out the E when you're writing. Keep it in mind. And the final one is breathe. Now, breathe is an action of inhaling and exhaling. It's a verb. I'm sure you must have come across the word breath. Breath is the air that you inhale and exhale. It's a noun. So breathe is an action, and breath is the air that you breathe. Okay. Moving on. Next, let's look at the words where G is silent. Dough, foreign, champagne, through, resign, and cough. So in the first word, it's not Doug or any other way that you might be pronouncing this word. It should be dough and GH. Both are silent here. In this word foreign, G is silent, and make sure you write it when you're writing it. And in this word champagne, G is silent. Through, GH is silent. Resign, G is silent. And cough, GH sounds like F in this particular word. Similarly, you must have come across laugh, rough, where you have to pronounce it as F in the end. Next, let's look at the words where H is silent. So, honest, hour, chorus, weather, what, and rhythm. So when you say honest, you shouldn't say it like honest. It's honest. And be sure to include the H. And similarly, hour is not hour. Just don't say ha. Just leave out that H sound in the beginning and just say hour. Just like how you say hour, O-U-R, hour. Similarly, the other words, make sure you include the H when you're writing and leave out the H when you are speaking. Next, we have the word where I is silent. I found only one. If you know more words, do comment and let me know. It's the word business. It's not busyness, it's business. But make sure you put the I, okay? We are going to come down to the wire for this particular video, so let's blitz through the remaining silent letters. So K is silent in these words: no, knife, knock, not, new, and need. Need is when you manipulate something, like knead a dough. And let's look at the words where L is silent. It's should, would, could. Yolk, it's not yolk. It's not chalk, it's yolk, chalk, balm, walk, half, it's not half, it's half, and calm. The words where N is silent, it's column. I've seen a lot of people leave the N out when writing column, so make sure you include it. Autumn, hymn, damn, and condemn. Condemn means when you disapprove something. For example, they condemn the attack on the man, something like that. Okay, moving on. Here the word O is silent, but you have to say it like kernel, Kernel. It is not colonel or colonel or any way that you pronounce, and it should always be spelled as kernel. You can check out this website that I've given down here where they explain why it's spelled that way. In these words, P is silent. Pseudonym, psychology, pneumonia, telephone, alphabet, and paragraph. See the F sound in all of these three words. Here the S letter is silent. Island, isle, and debris. Isle means a small island, and debris means the dust, or the stuff that flies when there is dust. Okay, moving on. In these words, the T is silent. Listen, whistle, Christmas, castle, ballet, gourmet, often. Now, often can be said like often. I've heard many of them say that way. But you can say it any way you like, often or often. Often sounds better, I believe. Here, U is silent. Guitar, biscuit. It's not biscuit or biscuit. It's biscuit. Guest, guess, and colleague. Everywhere, make sure you put the U, and when you say it out loud, make sure you don't pronounce it. It's guitar, biscuit, and make sure you practice by saying it out loud with me, with this video. Here, W is silent, wrong, rap, right, answer, and sword. It's not sword, it's sword. And wrist is W should be silent in wrist. I know, I hope you know which part of the body that is. Okay, moving on. Here the X is silent. X, this faux word comes from French, and you have to pronounce it as faux. O is in mango, and it means false. In this particular word, rendezvous. Initially, even I had a trouble pronouncing this, but eventually I learned. So it's rendezvous, and it means a meeting planned at a certain time and place. So Z is silent here. And an example is, we will be having the rendezvous as planned in her house. Okay, I hope you go through the video one more time, just so that you can practice along with the video. So be careful when you're writing words that have silent letters in them. That's the way English is, and I think we've got to get used to writing them without any spelling mistakes, and also pronouncing them correctly while speaking. Thank you guys for watching. Do rate, recommend, or share this video if you liked it or found it useful. I'm signing off, and see you in the next video.